Well, hello there, listeners. I'm Lazarus Black, here with another update on what's been going on with this podcast thing. See, the Rogue Valley Roleplayers are now an affiliate of BattleBards, an online resource of sound effects, tension tracks, and all sorts of audio goodies to use in your own games and shows. Just head on over to battlebards.com and check them out. And if you like what you see, be sure to sign up for a Prime membership. And don't forget to use our promo code, RVRPodcast, when you do. Be seeing y'all. Welcome back to Season 4, listeners. Before we get started, here's a quick word from one of our very good friends.
December 1933. You'd expect Chicago to be cold, but not this year. It's hotter than a kiss between Harlow and Flynn, and just as thrilling. Trouble's blowing in the Windy City. Capone might be in the big house, but even a half-wit knows full well Al didn't leave the picture. But that's not stopping his lieutenants from squabbling over the scraps, and it sure as hell ain't stopping the other gangs from trying to knock Capone's outfit down a few pegs. Any palooks with some Tommies and attitudes are grabbing at that pie like a fat kid at Thanksgiving. But there's something brewing in Chicago's shadows, and it's not that next batch of bathtub gin. No, this is something that bites a lot harder and leaves a mark that won't heal anytime soon. My name's E.I. Wick, and I want to tell you about four palooks just trying to beat the breadlines and survive the day-to-day. But life's got other plans for this Private Jane and her three friends. To hear their story, let's slide your feet to the dark side of the street and visit gunforhireap.com. That's gun with two N's. Gun for Hire, a Deadlands Noir actual play from Fear the Boot.
And now, on with the show. Hello and welcome everyone to the Rogue Valley Roleplayers. My name is Ben. I'm here with Ed, Austin, Rosemary, and Nick, and we are the Rogue Valley Roleplayers. Tonight we're getting ready to start episode 401 of Valley of Famine. That's season 4, episode 1. My name's Ben. I am the marshal tonight, herding the cats, running the shindig, making up the adventure as I go along, and trying to make it seem like I'm some sort of a professional. I'm really not.
I'm Ed. I am playing Daisy Gilmore, better known as Railin Daisy, because she's gone off the rails on a crazy train.
I'm Austin, and I'm playing...
I'm Rosemary. I play ex-deputy Rachel Jane Kennedy.
That's right, you quit.
I quit.
Like a quitter.
I'm a quitter.
What's your new title?
Rachel Jane Kennedy.
Yeah, Ms. Rachel Jane Kennedy. Ms. Kennedy.
I'm Nik S. I'm playing Haru the Harud.
Yep. And yeah, we're here to play Valley of Famine. We open up the scene on a somber sight. Winter is still in the full swing of things. I think it's too soon for your characters to realize that things are getting better, that things will get better. As of right now, you've lost your dear friend Macario. You don't even have a body to bury. It's cold. You spent entirely too long digging a grave out in the graveyard. Or, well, I guess if there's no body to bury,
We probably would not dig a grave.
You probably would not dig an actual hole. You'd put up you spent entirely too long putting up a headstone to mark a grave for Macario. Edgar Pittman is there kind of overseeing things. He's the one who probably carved the headstone. And who all is there? Kane is definitely there. Abraham Ross is there. I think Lan Hui is there as well. Who else is there?
Probably Valerie Rose,
Okay, Valerie Rose.
Jonathan Graves.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the town would be there, right? Macario touched a lot of lives.
He did. So, who else is there?
That family that he performed the show for is
Oh,
there.
yeah.
A thin little red-haired boy
Yeah.
comes up and holds Haru's hand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you have no idea who the hell this little kid is.
In spirit of the situation, Haru doesn't pull away or anything. He's just, okay.
Yeah. And, did Father David Smith survive the winter? Did he survive the Wendigo?
I think that he would have, because
Yeah.
people would keep going to church. They'd especially be going to church if there was like horrible monsters, and they felt like that was some sort of salvation for them.
Yeah.
Maybe the spirit of his lord protected him.
Maybe. That is entirely possible.
Maybe he kept the hopes up of everyone so that it could have been worse. More people would have turned.
Yeah. So yeah, Father David Smith is leading the ceremony for everyone who's mourning. What's the story you gave on what happened to Macario?
Let's see. We went up to Table Rock, right, and portaled into Crater Lake.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a body.
Yep, there's no body.
He sacrificed himself for the greater good, and we were unable to reclaim his body.
Yeah.
Yeah, let people know that, yeah, he did something.
He
made
did
a
something
great noble
really-
sacrifice, and we couldn't reclaim the body.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, he's talking about all the good that Macario did, how he touched everyone's lives in Jacksonville and in Medford, in the Rogue Valley, and how he was such a colorful person. But yeah, it's a short service. Is kind of awkward because there's no actual body to bury. People are laying flowers on the grave. Abraham puts a small smooth pebble on the headstone and kind of looks over at you, Rachel. Looks like he's about to say something, and then kind of lets his head drop and turns back with probably Billy's there as well. He turns back with Billy in tow.
Yeah, Rachel's dressed, I think, all in black. Black hat, black shirt, black vest.
And Edgar Pittman is there as well, kind of standing awkwardly behind. He's got a shovel with him for some reason.
I mean, he is a gravedigger. It's not unreasonable that he would have a shovel.
So what are y'all doing?
Haru's gonna stand just kind of quietly over Macario's grave. I mean, his culture believes that with all good things, he's returning. He'll come back as something better, greater, kind of thing. He doesn't think of Macario as dead as just transitioning.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll miss the man, but my friend is still around.
Rachel's probably going to place on the grave this little paper flower that you can tell by looking at it. That's something she took a long time to try to make. It's probably like a little crinkled in one corner, and there's like tear stains on another part of it. And it's this little paper flower, and she says that on the gravestone, and just kind of whispers to the headstone, like, you'll be missed.
Right, well, Daisy's dressed in like a simple black dress and Macario's scarf, so like, yeah, bringing some color to it. Yeah. This is great, like Macario, you were a friend. And, well, you brought some color to the valley. Yeah. You'll be missed.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward because most of the time, like, people, there's the family to go console. There's dirt to throw into the grave, and there's none of that. So people eventually kind of just file off home, and they leave Edgar Pittman kind of standing there by the grave, staring off into the middle distance with his shovel. clearly looks like he doesn't 100% know what he's doing.
Rachel might just kind of like guide him away if he's like just standing there confused.
I was thinking before that, I may say, I don't think this one will be coming back up out of the ground.
No. I don't know why I grabbed the shovel. Force of habit, I guess. Usually there's a body to bury. Well, I suppose that gives me time to work on my paintings. Yes. Then he kind of just goes walking off towards his shack.
Rachel just kind of looks at him, and this expression on her face is like, what? Like, what is he even? And then she'll just probably turn and head away.
And life attempts to go back to normal. Some of you continue to deputy on for Abraham Ross. But things slowly but surely get better. It gets warmer. The attacks decrease. You see less and less of the Wendigo. I don't think this ever actually came up narratively in story, but after you slew the spirit on Mount McLaughlin, like the forest became mundane again, so when you cut down a tree, it stayed cut down. That's no longer the case. The forest seems to be its resilient self once again. The forest crowds in. That sense of oppression is gone, though. There's no feeling of like this pent up ancient rage. But eventually, months turn as you get into March of 1885. You wake up one day and the only snow you see is on the mountains. And Daisy, you get a summons. It's probably not worded like that, but it can be nothing less than a summons by Lan Hui.
By Lan Hui, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will find out what Lan Hui wants.
You go to the Medford train station, the offices, and she's there working on paperwork. Looks up. Ah, Ms. Gilmore, please sit.
Sure. What do you want? It's been a while.
It has. We had discussed the issue of the rail driver.
Yeah.
Well, we seem to be in the clear from the strangeness of this last winter. The snows have lifted.
Yeah, I've seen the flowers up in the hills starting to grow again.
Yes. And, well, I would like to get my crew started on the spur line once more. And to do that, I need that equipment. I would like for you, if you are willing, to go down to Deseret, to Salt Lake City, to represent the Iron Dragon in acquiring a supply of these rail drivers.
As your representative?
Yes.
Well... Okay.
And if that should provide you with an opportunity to learn how this company came into possession of your father's blueprints and perhaps what happened to your father, I wish you the best of luck so long as I get my rail drivers.
Okay. Should I be like incognito or something while I do this?
If you see fit.
Or, well, if I'm going to be looking for my father and they got my father, would they know who I am? Showing up to town as myself.
However you want to approach it is your prerogative, Ms. Gilmore.
Okay.
You've done good things for the railroad. You've done good things for this town. So, it is my desire to give you the opportunity. But I must see to the needs of the railroad first. So, whatever you need to do, do it. The rail drivers are my first priority.
Okay.
I will be sending my chief of railroad police with you to help enforce your authority. And the Iron Dragon will pay for the tickets of anyone else who might accompany you.
Okay. Well, get my friends together, maybe. See if they're not busy anymore.
All right.
It is about time to move on, and yeah,
Yes.
must be one less deputy around here.
I had heard.
Well, I mean, if I have to turn in my badge too.
Yes, quite possibly. I imagine Sheriff Ross will get over it.
Probably. He's probably already over it. One more conversation about Lemurians with her.
Yes, it definitely was a hard winter. Hardest I've known. Thank you, Ms. Gilmore. Let me know how many tickets I need to arrange for.
I'll get back to you with that.
Very good. What's Haru been up to in the last couple of months?
Besides doing his job, he's been continuing to at least write a letter home.
Okay.
Other than doing his own job, he keeps an eye on the town as often as he can. You know, any remaining Wendigo, he takes them down. He's kind of taking up the role of a monster hunter like Ross did. Kind of going, if I have to live forever like this, I might as well do some good with it.
And what's former Deputy Rachel been up to?
I think ever since the funeral, no one's really seen her in town. She's kind of hiding out in her house out in the woods. She helps out at her sister's place a lot, I think. So she'll go over there and like help her do laundry or chop wood or whatever chores need to be done around the house. She's got this real tired, haggard look to her, like she hasn't been sleeping well. If someone were to go to her house, it's like she's letting it fall into a state of disrepair. It's gross, it's messy inside, it's like she hasn't swept it in ages, everything's covered with dust, it's dirty, like the front porch step is loose and she hasn't fixed it. She's kind of like letting herself just fall apart a little bit.
I would have known that Haru would be busy with you with all this.
Yeah. Well, she's definitely like she's isolated herself, I would say.
It's almost because we didn't go visit her.
Yeah. It's almost a little bit as if the glue that held the party together is gone. And what's Macario?
Yes, Macario is in the middle of a ghostly hellscape. No, I don't know what it looks like down there. Or if he's just gone.
I don't want to go into that.
We'll get to it.
That's going to be a later payoff.
Yeah.
Daisy, I think we'll put the onus on you to get the gang together.
Well, I guess the first thing to do is find Haru, because he's the chief of security. That is part of this mission now.
Mm-hmm.
What time of day is it when you...
I don't know, what time of day is it?
Probably, probably almost afternoon.
Okay.
I'd be at the railroad, checking on the people that are still around there and getting them to work.
Well, I'll go find him at work. What's the railroad lady's name?
Lan Hui.
Lan Hui.
She's this scary Vietnamese
Yeah,
woman.
I just the name. Yeah, so I'll come up and be like, hey, Haru!
Oh, hello, Daisy. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Have you talked to Lan Hui recently?
Not recently, which I am both thankful for and very perplexed by. She has not called me into her office in quite some time.
Well, I've been hired by the Iron Dragon to be their emissary down in Desiree to look after some new invention. Well, also the invention that my daddy invented that someone else has got their hands on.
I see. And, I suppose that you'll be asking for my assistance in Iron Dragon affairs.
Well, I that's why I thought Lan Hui talked to you already, because she said that, yeah, you would be going with me as head of security for protection and some authority. No, Daisy does not see authority.
I presume that a runner's been looking for Haru, but because he's just kind of all over the place, it's been hard to actually get him into the office.
Yeah.
I have not heard anything, but if that is her intention, then I suppose she'd be sending me along as well.
Yeah, well, I was hoping to get the whole, what's left of our group back. When's the last time have you seen...
I have seen Rachel a couple of times. She's out at her sister's place. I have not been able to speak to her in private, for it is difficult in my condition. You understand? I have strong feeling there, but I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, well... maybe getting out and doing some traveling and getting our band back together. Help things...
back together. Montage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help things feel normal again.
Yeah. Let's go get Rachel. I think it'll do her some good based on the last time I saw her, to get out and do some good.
You go riding out of Jacksonville. As you're riding out, you see Arizona Red and Ezekiel Boone and a few others that she's been known to hang out with, kind of swaggering on back into town, like they do. And you're passing through Jacksonville. You're gonna stop by the sheriff's office and resign.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
Poor Ross.
Yeah, as you're walking up to the sheriff's office, you hear raised voices inside, and mostly one person. You probably recognize who it is. I don't have a name or a persona in mind, but it's like whoever runs the stagecoaches in Jacksonville.
Okay.
And it's just like, God damn it, Ross, this is the 4th stagecoach that's been robbed in 2 months. What the fuck are you doing about it? That's when you walk in.
Okay. Well, howdy, Ross.
Ms. Gilmore? Listen, I'm a little short-handed right now with my deputies, doing the best I can, but there's a lot to be seen to, and I can only do so much.
Well, unfortunately, I have some bad news for you, Ross.
What?
I'm turning in my badge.
Oh, God damn it. You too?
Yeah, it's time. It's time I head on south and out of here. It's, things have been rough in the Rogue Valley, and it's time to move on.
All right. Thanks for helping out during the winter like you did, Ms. Gilmore. Sir, you can take yourself a seat instead of glaring at me like that. And when I am done saying goodbye to my former deputy, I will see to your business. And he looks over, kind of nods at you, takes the badge back from you.
Well, good luck, Ross.
Thanks. If you see Rachel, check on her for me, will you?
Well, we're hoping to go looking for her. We're
right.
going to try to get our little group back together.
She'll only answer the door when I come riding by.
I've heard that of a lot of people.
So, you leave the sheriff's office. Ross goes back to being yelled at by the angry stagecoach operator person thing. So, you head out from the sheriff's office. You go riding out to Rachel's small ranch, farm, homestead. I'm not quite sure what to call it.
I think it's just a little homestead.
Okay.
Haru takes the opportunity to walk to the door and finally knock.
You hear from inside Rachel just kind of say, "Go away."
And you also hear Scout's excited barking, like, "Oh, goody, people!"
At that point, I'm like,
Rachel.
Scout!
Rachel,
Oh,
it's Haru. And Daisy.
she opens the door. She looks really haggard. Like she hasn't slept well. But she's not dirty or like unkempt. Her clothes might be hanging a little bit looser on her. like she's not taking care of herself.
Does she smell of booze?
Maybe a little bit, yeah, if I'm being honest. But she's not, like, falling over drunk.
Rachel, I must first apologize. I have not been a good friend. I have not seen you very frequently these past couple of months, and I fear that it has only distanced us further. I don't want to be distant with you. I would very much like to be as close to you as possible and help you through this pain.
I mean, where were you a month ago, Haru? I saw you walk up and you turned away.
I have been afraid because of my condition to get close and stay close.
Can I give you perhaps a little bit of advice?
Sure.
Just say, I'm sorry, I was an asshole, and I'm sorry.
I am sorry. I was an asshole, and I am sorry.
Perfect. Maybe a little wooden, but perfect.
Rachel will swing open the door and say, come on in.
See?
I'll lead Scout back in after like patting him and ruffling their necks.
Yeah, Scout is probably, like, going ape shit over.
I think Haru would, like, want to offer a hug to Rachel, but he's not sure if she'd be reciprocating or not.
Yeah, her body language is definitely closed off. And when you go inside, you definitely see, like, her place is, it's a mess. Like, there's definitely some empty, like, whiskey bottles sitting out on the table. Kind of clothes piled up on her chair that still need to be washed. It smells a little like booze, and
I think Haru doesn't take any mind to it because he understands, and so he just kind of gathers up some of it, moves it to a pile onto one side, makes enough space for Daisy and him to sit, and make sure you have a place to sit as well.
yeah, Rachel will kind of clear some dishes off the table and just be like, here, and she'll pour some whiskey for both of you.
Daisy's actually going to go into your kitchen and start making some coffee.
Well, what brings you out here now?
Well, actually, Daisy brings us together this time.
Oh?
Well, I've been hired by the Iron Dragon Railroad as like their emissary to go to Desiree to help them procure a device that I know a lot about because, well, it's the one my dad invented. And as you know, he's gone missing, and now all of a sudden this Black Ridge Industries thing is making... Do I know that, actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's making these things based on his design.
You're saying someone stole your father's work?
Or stole my father, I'm not sure which.
Huh.
And Iron Dragon's now helping... Yeah, hired me to... We're kind of helping each other out here, I guess. I give them the technology they need to do the jobs they need around here, and hopefully I get to find my father.
Of course, I have been asked to assist in handling Iron Dragon affairs. We were hoping that you would be willing to come along, get out of your house, and do some good.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not... And she holds up her hand, you can just see it shaking a little bit. And she says, I'm not sure I'm quite the shot I used to be.
You're in your own head. Let go of the mind. Just come with us and reunite as friends, and maybe everything will relax. And be okay once more. I promise I will visit more.
Yeah, we'll get back there out on the road and everything. We can get back to how it was.
I will help you do laundry if it's what it takes.
She'll chuckle a little bit. And then she'll kind of just sit back, and you can see she's thinking it over. Her eyes are just kind of taking in her home and just like how far she's let it go. And then she's going to kind of absentmindedly drop her hand down onto Scout and scratch him behind the ears.
Oh, he's just like, yes.
I think Haru, like, while she's mulling over, kind of gives her a look that it's like a look that he's always given her. That one, that I don't know how to describe it other than that one look that every time he gives it to her is kind of like, oh, Rachel, I'm here for you, kind of thing.
So she'll just kind of sigh and be like, yeah, maybe you're right, Haru. Maybe I do need to get out of here for a bit.
Let's take a trip. I have not seen the rest of this as much as this wonderful country as I'd like to.
On one condition, though. I ain't using magic anymore.
You will be limiting a part of yourself.
I can't draw on those powers again.
I understand.
When are y'all planning on leaving?
Well, fairly soon. Gotta get some stuff ready. I think I need to buy some nicer clothes before.
Are we going shopping?
I mean, just
Before we road trip?
yeah.
So, yeah, we see a montage of that. Just, buying equipment, buying clothing, buying bullets, buying cologne. We see the party getting onto the Iron Dragon train to head down to Shanfan.
I was also going to say Rachel's going to let her sister know at some point that she's leaving town.
Yeah.
So her sister isn't freaking out when she goes to her house. She's actually going to leave Scout with, I think, her sister.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's like a really emotional farewell scene between her and her dog. Yeah. She like hugs Scout and like buries her face in his scruff and is like, "You be a good boy now."
Scout does that dog hug where he hugs he leans his shoulder and neck into it real hard.
Yep. She's not crying.
We don't deserve dogs.
No, not even the fictional ones. Are you taking your horses down to Shanfan and then the Salt Lake City, or?
Because you could take them by train, right?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
you
think
can.
she'll
Yeah.
probably take Oakley with her then.
That would be a smart thing for getting around town and stuff.
Coon is one of the few animals that isn't outright afraid of Haru, so he'd probably keep him around. Just
Yeah. So yeah, we see everyone boarding the train. Haru, you're probably like about to set foot when Lazarus like, so, are we sure we want to do this?
I need to do this for Rachel.
So me going back to being a crazy murder maniac is good for Rachel.
We will deal with it. Lazarus, I have grown to appreciate you as you actually are. So I will deal with the monster when it comes.
Fuck. Alright. Fine.
As long as it's for her. Maybe the monster can be tamed.
We'll see. God willing, that's the case. Alright, get on the goddamn train.
And we hop on the train.
Can you actually hop on the train?
Doing my funny walk onto the train.
Alright. Macario would be proud. So the train ride down to Shanfan goes by without incident. It's long, it's dull. You probably arrive fairly late in the evening. I'm not sure how long it actually is by train from Medford to not San Francisco, but San Francisco.
Well, because trains stop a lot along the way, too. So it's not so much the distance. It might be an overnight.
Okay, so yeah, it probably is overnight. But once again, it's overnight. You arrive in Shanfan in the late morning, we'll say. As you step off the train at the station where you're gonna switch trains, the smell of salt water in the air kind of assails you. It's like a big smack in the face after having lived so long in Medford. You also catch the smell of cooking food, and there's a lot of noise. This place is a million times more crowded and busier than Medford or Jacksonville combined.
Haru kind of grabs the hilt of his sword, not like in a threatening way, but more of just like,
I'm uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable.
I'm trying to think if Rachel's actually been to...
Probably not.
Oh, okay. So she's looking around and wide-eyed, just taking in all the sights.
It's actually probably where Haru came in from the east, ironically.
Yeah, no, you've definitely been in Shanfan before.
Yeah. Daisy's passed through on the way at one point.
So yeah, Rachel's doing the whole like, whoa reaction, whereas
Haru's just watching all the people like, I don't trust you, I don't trust you, I don't trust you. There's just a...
yeah, I mean, there's like lots of buildings though, still, right?
There's
And
there's lots and lots
so.
of buildings. You can see the ocean from where you're at the station out there, and you can see bits of the maze. There's islands out there in the water. Most of them actually look pretty fortified. Well, yeah. Once again, there's just a lot of people. A couple of people stand out in the crowd. You also see a clean-shaven man with short hair and suntan skin in dirty brown overalls with rips and tears and caked mud kind of all over him. He's got like a rucksack and some jangling tools all over the place, and he's just kind of hanging out at the station. You also see like a very wealthy-looking lady, well-dressed, sitting around waiting. And so what are you doing?
Where is the next train for?
You go to find out your schedule, and you realize that your next train, the train that you have tickets for to Salt Lake City, doesn't leave until probably later in the afternoon.
Oh, okay, so you have some time to...
You've got a lot of time to kill.
Shall we explore Champagne some?
There's a great little place to eat that I remember last time I was here.
Yeah, I could do with a fresh meal. That's not train food.
Wow. Look at all these people to... No.
As we pass the well-dressed woman who's sitting there, Rachel's gonna pause and just say, "Do you know your clutch is open, ma'am?" Like her purse.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. She looks shocked. Oh no! My goodness. Closes her purse up.
Yeah, Rachel just super happy and just be like, "You want to be careful with pickpockets."
Yes, thank you. Ms.
Kennedy.
Ms. Summerlin.
Oh, pleasure to meet you.
Quite.
I imagine this lady be the kind that says, I do declare.
Do declare. She's a young woman. She's probably in her early 20s. Pretty young. Probably not by Old West standards, but definitely by our standards. She's pretty young.
If it's not too far to me, you travel alone, Miss Summerlin?
Not that it's any of your business, but yes.
Oh, okay. You seemed a little nervous. I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
Nervous? I always get a little excited before travel. I've been on... And despite her whole, like, it's none of your business, like, she totally...
Launches
into a whole, like, here's what I've been doing. So apparently she's a wealthy heiress from back east, and she's been out on a Wild West adventure, and she's visited, the Southwest and California. She didn't really venture too much into the Pacific Northwest because she got a lot of, hey, it's dangerous, don't go, this is a bad time, there's monsters. But, and also, just like, she's been to Deadwood and Tombstone and hit all the places one would go to have a Wild West adventure.
As she's launching into her life story, does her traveling companion come back at all?
She doesn't have a traveling companion.
Oh, she said she didn't?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
She traveled by herself. She kind of loosens up and gets a little friendlier as she's talking about everything she does. She's really excited about it, and she's been on a few adventures. I don't think anything that comes close to what you've been through.
Not actual adventures, more of just experiences.
Definitely experiences, maybe 1 or 2 actual adventures. Like, she's like, oh, and I saw the weirdest thing. And she describes something that you're just like, oh wow, oh my god, I'm surprised you're still alive.
Oh, well, Miss Summerland, it seems like you've had quite some adventures.
Yes, I will be the talk of my social circle when I get back home to Baltimore, random East Coast town. And I'm so sorry. I've been talking about myself. I'm sorry. What did you say your name was again?
Oh, it's Ms. Kennedy.
And what do you do, Ms. Kennedy?
Well, I'm currently in between. I used to be a deputy up in Medford.
Her eyes go like super wide. Medford. That's where is that?
It's north.
North? Oregon?
Yeah.
I wanted to visit Oregon, but they told me it was much too dangerous.
You don't want to visit Oregon, ma'am.
Keep them tourists out.
Stop driving up our property.
You absolutely must tell me all about it.
Well, my friends and I are heading in to get a meal. Our train doesn't leave for another couple of hours.
Neither does mine.
Well, do you two mind a little company?
Not at all.
I do not mind any company.
Rachel's got this look on her face like I wasn't expecting her to join us. Like, I just stopped because her clutch was open.
She's latched onto you
and,
now.
like, I don't know what to do. But
the moment you were like, oh, I used to be a deputy, you're just like, you're her hero now.
You can tell Haru is very uncomfortable, but will make...
Rachel, like, kind of shoots you, like, this alarm look, like, say, like, maybe no, like, but help.
I don't know what I've done.
But we're, like, way too polite to say
Haru's like,
Well, I'll take over. Like, so you're from Baltimore? I'm from Vermont.
Yeah, we'll invite her to join us.
All right, yeah, you go and you go to some like noodle shop. It's like an outdoor noodle place. The food's actually pretty decent.
Is it the same one I remember from before? Or is it
Yeah.
Because you never know.
this is like ramen noodles or dipping noodles.
Yes,
Okay.
Rachel is...
all the above plus more. The best ramen you've ever had for sure.
This is probably, like, the first real meal that Rachel's eaten since she...
Oh yeah, I mean it's still metagame. You're still in the domain of famine, so you're still feeling that hunger, but having gotten outside of the valley of famine, yeah, it's definitely like food has a taste, a flavor, and a sense of fullness that you didn't realize you were missing.
Yeah, I told you this is one of the best noodle shops I've ever been to.
This is delicious.
I ate 3 bowls.
Hey, I know this is awkward, but could I take over for a bowl?
Looking around and trying to be quiet about it.
I will be a perfect gentleman. I won't say a goddamn word.
I'm a little bit afraid of you wanting to go kill.
I really want a bowl of noodles.
One moment, please.
Okay.
Lazarus wants a bowl of noodles.
No!
I lean over. Debutante.
Not in front of the lady. She will get very strange if my demeanor changes
I'm
so
just gonna scarf a bowl of noodles. Fine.
A resounding no on that one. Lazarus wants a bowl of noodles.
No!
That's why he's gonna start getting all killy.
Why are you like this? 'Cause I wanted a bowl of noodles and Shane Fan. And what did you say? No, so I'm gonna kill everyone you love, Haru. Everyone you've ever met. Everyone you've ever so much as looked at. I'm gonna kill them all.
The Union took our states' rights and our noodles.
All he wanted was a bowl of noodles. Just one bowl of noodles.
If you
But
don't
she wouldn't
mind,
give it
Miss
to me.
Summerlin,
Yes?
I will be eating in private for a moment. Religious practice.
Oh. Okay.
Goes to a back corner of...
She's very confused because you just ate 3 of these bowls before this religious practice came up, but she's
forgot to say grace.
she's far too proper to question it. So she's like, I don't know. And she's like hanging on your every word, Rachel.
What am I talking to her about?
I don't know. What are you talking to her about?
Probably not a lot about the winter. She's probably...
And that's probably what she wants to know the most about.
Right,
It's like, why did people tell me not to go there? I want to know.
It's like, no, you don't want to go there. Just take my word on that.
Have you ever been to Mount Shasta?
No, I did not get the chance. I didn't go very far north. It was discouraged by most everyone I met.
Oh, it's a beautiful mountain.
I've heard.
There are people who live there like that are far more advanced than us.
Oh?
Yeah, they've been there for thousands of years, and they're actually from the continent of Lumeria, but they built a city inside Shasta.
Well, she doesn't
Great place you
realize
should visit someday.
quickly enough. She's just kind of like asking questions, like, "Oh, are these Native Americans?" Da, 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 da. And eventually, you see that realization dawn on her that Daisy is a little bit
Bonkers?
And she's like, oh no, I'm too far in. And so
Rachel, at one point, sort of like, tell her about their technology, Daisy. Like, just
That's what I was
egging
doing.
you on.
but to Ms. Summerlin's credit, she listens very politely. Although she starts trying to like ask questions that are going to turn the conversation back to Rachel and her adventures and what have you.
Rachel's very modest. I feel like she'd be really uncomfortable boasting about her adventures.
Well, and since most of your adventures involve scary shit that shouldn't exist.
yeah,
Before
that too.
Haru left to let Lazarus have a bowl, he would have turned to Rachel and been like, keep an eye on me.
Well, remarkably, you get that bowl of noodles, you let Lazarus drive, and he scarfs it down and gives control back to you.
He doesn't murder anyone.
He doesn't. He murders that bowl of noodles.
I am so full.
That was good. Thanks.
You're welcome. Saunter on back.
Now let's go kill someone.
God damn it.
That was a joke. Calm down. Fueled for murder. It was funny.
Haru would then saunter back eventually.
Yeah. About the same time you're sauntering back, actually, you see a couple of very large Chinese men wearing Iron Dragon colors come walking up to the noodle stand.
I turn so that my badge faces them, but I don't say anything.
Yeah. They see you and they zero in on you and they actually walk over to you.
Gentlemen.
Take it you're Mr. Matsuhara?
Yes.
Shang Jin would like a word. If you would please come with us.
I will be back. I have to be back before my train leaves.
Don't worry, we'll get you back before your train leaves.
I stand and walk with them.
They escort you away, leaving the rest of you at the noodle stand with Ms. Summerlin.
Is this pretty typical of like?
This probably would seem slightly shady.
It seems very shady, especially because it's Iron Dragon.
Rachel's gonna say, "Excuse me, Miss Summerland. I'm gonna just go keep an eye on my friend."
Are you trying to be stealthy about it?
Like from the guys who are escorting.
Yeah, not from Miss Summerlin.
Spanish. Where'd you go?
I have to go check on my friend. Cool.
Like Batman, just poof out and smoke.
Suddenly, I'm far more interested in Lemurians.
I mean, yeah, she's not gonna make it she's gonna try to be stealthy. Like, if it looks like they're taking him into a dark alley to kill him, then she definitely wants to interfere. But if they're, like, heading towards a training office...
Go ahead and roll me a stealth roll.
This is gonna be great, 'cause it's D4.
Excellent.
4.
4? All right, you're having a little bit of a hard time keeping up with them just because of the crowds.
Right.
And you're trying to be stealthy at the same time, but you actually follow them through Shanfan, through the streets, until they get to the docks. And they gesture for Haru to board a steam launch, and they get on behind him, and the launch takes off towards one of the numerous islands.
Oh, shit. Daisy's still back at the noodle stand, right?
Yeah, there's a point where I was thinking about interjecting myself in being to the abduction, because as a representative of the Iron Dragon, be like, oh, does this concern our mission?
I don't think you got a chance.
Okay.
They were solely focused on Haru.
I think it was because they approached before I even got back to the table.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, I think so. They intercepted you before you got to the table and just like, hey.
Can I tell what island they're heading to?
Yeah, it's a bit out there, but it's close enough that it actually has like a telegraph wire running to it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna turn around then and go back to the noodle stand and look for Daisy.
Yep, it's not hard to find. She's still sitting there talking with Miss Summerlin.
So she'll say, like, pardon me, Miss Summerlin, Daisy, something, I just got a feeling in my gut. Something's fishy with those.
Those guys that Haru ran off with?
And it's not the ramen.
You think they were more than just, who they said they were?
Maybe. They took them to the docks. They got on a boat and left.
I'm sorry, this sounds like maybe an adventure. What's happening?
Oh, dude, I don't want to involve an innocent party in this, Miss Summerland.
No, please tell me. Perhaps I can help. She just has this absolute earnest, like, yes.
Do you have a boat?
No, but I do have a lot of money.
Oh.
Well.
I mean, I also have a lot of money. I don't need to borrow her money.
No, we have money.
Yeah.
She has a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, we might need to hire a boat if we want to follow.
Yeah. I think someone might have kidnapped a friend of ours.
Oh no, the odd Japanese man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go rescue him.
Miss Summerland.
I'm sorry, Austin, you're now playing Miss Summerlin. No.
I am?
No.
Okay. I could.
These are dangerous men. I don't know. Can you defend yourself?
Of course I
I
can.
have a...
I'll play her if you want.
All right, go ahead and do it.
Of course I can defend myself. I was trained since I was a little girl to always aim low.
Oh, you're... You know what? Sure. Why don't you, come along then?
Well, of course I need to hit the shopping market and buy maybe a pistol. What do you think I should get? Something I can hide, like a Derringer?
Yeah, that will fit in your clutch.
I actually will, pull out, you need a Derringer.
Oh, is this loaded?
One you can use. Yeah, don't point it at me.
Maybe we should have her come with us.
Yeah, she secrets it away in just a pocket you didn't even notice was there, but now that the Derringer's in it, you definitely notice it's there.
All right, well, let's go see if we can hire us a boat.
Meanwhile, while all this is happening, the Haru, they get you on the steam launch and they take off across the bay to one of several islands, and then they escort you off it into this very well fortified but very opulent palace. Really is the only word to describe it. It's got a lot of very fine architecture in a variety of different styles, mainly Chinese. And you see lots of relics and vases and art on display all over the place. And eventually they lead you to essentially a small courtroom complete with like a throne. Maybe not as grand as like the Chinese imperial throne or the Japanese imperial throne, but it is nonetheless a throne, and Shang Jin is lounging there. And brazenly on display, not too far from that throne, is the imperial daisho.
Haru narrows his eyes upon seeing it, grits his teeth as sharply as he can, just like it'd be suicide to do it.
Yeah, there's
about
guards.
it right now.
There's
Yeah.
guards everywhere.
Yeah, he kind of was casing it as he's walking up, just like being paranoid, kind of cautious about his surroundings at all times. He's like, okay, guards everywhere. Even if he didn't think there was something wrong going on, he'd be still like, where are all these people? Okay, there's these, okay, all this, and then he'd see that and be like, okay, I can't do anything about this right now.
Haru Matsuhara, I'm disappointed in you.
Haru just kind of keeps his head bowed because he realizes that right now he's in the room of a superior.
Mm-hmm. I gave you one job. One simple task. Find out who hired that man to kill me. And you failed. Not only did you fail to find out who was responsible, you failed to inform me that you had even reached a dead end.
It was hard to get letters out of the Rogue Valley. We were under very hard times.
Oh, I was not aware that the telegram wires were ever cut. In fact, my former associate, Chen Mei, had no issue at all in getting a telegraph to me to inform me that your one witness had somehow slipped your grasp and escaped. Anything else you'd like to lie to me about?
No, sir. It will not happen again.
No, you're right. It will not happen again. You are dismissed. Your services are no longer required by the Iron Dragon. I will have someone I can trust reassigned to your position.
Reach up, grab the badge, and toss it onto the floor in front of him.
Fine. Then I wish to leave.
Very well. You are dismissed.
I turn, and I think as I'm leaving,
I will come back here, and I will bring a storm like you've never seen before. I will bring vengeance. I will bring the very heavens down upon you.
I don't know quite how Lan Hui gained your loyalty. I do know she is responsible. I simply lack proof, but I will find it. Sadly, she is far too effective an administrator to simply kill out of hand without proof. Otherwise, we'd be done.
understood.
And yeah, those guards kind of... I think they probably reach out a hand to grab you by your shoulder and pull you back. How do you react?
I kind of do a glare down at their hand and up into their eyes, like, let go of me.
Okay. Yeah, and they probably like, oh, all right, okay. And they escort you back to the dock, back to the steam launch, and you probably get back to the Shanfan docks just as everyone else is like, all right, we're going to the rescue.
You had first noticed that the badge on my chest is missing.
Yeah. Haru, are you...
Angry.
Oh. What's going on? What was that all about?
Wait, Deputy, let me handle this. 2 hands up, you!
Put
Miss
that
Summerlin.
gun down, madam.
He's our friend. Remember? We were at the bar.
Oh.
Haru is clearly not in the mood for he's
The shenanigans.
the shenanigans.
Yeah. So I guess we don't need to go to a rescue.
We were worried about you.
It is Sheng Jin who needs to worry, but for now we have a job to do in Salt Lake City. I will discuss it when we are not in public.
You know, Daisy, I don't think I trust myself with this.
Well, thanks. I'll keep it safe.
Should we head back then to the train station?
I am willing to go wherever you go. I will follow with you on this mission, but I am no longer of Iron Dragon.
Well, I'm still their ambassador, so I hope this doesn't cause any problems for this.
For the time being, we will continue to act as if I am. I have no physical representation of authority, but I will act the part.
Alright.
It's not something that they can take away from you, Haru.
No, they cannot keep their chief of police for Iron Dragon. They have been far too involved with shady dealings. I am Shinsengumi. I am samurai. I am stronger than their will.
Now you think our whole mission might be one of these shady dealings of theirs?
It is possible, but I trust Lon Hui much more than I trust Sheng Jin.
Okay, if you trust Lon Hui, I'll trust her. She's just fine to work for.
And a fire that has been long dormant within Haru has been reawoken, and he is very, very determined to get stuff done. And kind of free of certain shackles.
They've unleashed the samurai.
They've unleashed the samurai. Pieces are falling into place. The illusion that I am totally in control of the situation is maintained. Yeah, you get back to the train station, and you pretty much have a new tag-along in the form of Miss Summerlin.
Is there a place we can drop you off at, Miss Summerlin? What train are you waiting for?
Oh, well, of course, as I was telling you, Rachel, I'm going back east to, what was it again?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. I knew that, of course. That's where my home is. And, you and I feel, we're like sisters, right? I mean, maybe our lives have been a little different, but I've got all the adventure you've got in you, right?
Sure.
And I think probably the fact that you've got this big scar running up the side of your face has done nothing but just idolize you in Mrs. Summerlin's eyes.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask, how did you get that beautiful scar?
Oof.
That was the most perfect, awkward, terrible question ever. Thank you, Austin.
If I may, Miss Summerlin, that is not an adventure worth telling. It's an adventure in pain and heartache.
Like a play?
If that is a way that your mind can understand it without me going into detail, then sure. But I do not wish to see Rachel in pain.
Well, I've really made just a sloozy of myself. I'm terribly sorry, Rachel, if I've hurt you.
Don't think on it, Miss Summerlin. It's not something I'm fond of talking about.
Well, you don't have to call me Miss Summerland anymore. To you, I'm Elaine. And I know we've just met, but you seem like a worthy friend. So I consider you one. Please don't ask me for money or anything like that, but If you want to stop by my cabin and share a tart or two, that might be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, Elaine, that's a right friendly offer. Are we on the same train?
Well, you're taking the one that's going straight east, right?
We're on the 4 o'clock to Salt Lake.
Salt Lake. Oh, yes. Yes, that's exactly where I'm going.
Rachel's like trying to think of like some reason why she can be like, no, and then she realizes there's literally nothing she can say, so she just surrenders to the inevitable, and it's like, well, I guess it's true that they say no good deed goes unpunished. She kind of just mumbles to herself, and then like turns to Elaine and says, it'll be a pleasure to have you join us on.
Oh, wonderful. I have an English butler who can make some excellent tea. I think you'll really find it to be to your liking.
Hey, you got any coffee?
Coffee is such a brutish, foul, bitter drink.
Quite agree with you. No. Rachel's been drinking lots of coffee.
Yeah, doesn't Rachel live on coffee?
She pretty much does, yeah.
This is America.
You can't say that.
We drink coffee.
Well, I don't know why you're so invested in it. It doesn't sound like I've invited you, does it?
Oh no, Miss Summerlin went from lovable to
I
hateable.
know. Well, that's fine. I'll go get my own coffee. Haru, coffee?
Sure.
As you two walk off, Rachel turns to Mouse. Don't leave me.
Before we go to the train, Haru's gonna find a telegram station and send a message to Lan Hui that Xingjin knows.
Okay. Alright, so you're forewarning her?
Forewarning her that Xingjin knows, and Haru knows that he has the that Xingjin has the Daisho now, and he is furious.
So I think the rest of the day goes by in the company of Ms. Summerlin, and eventually the Denver Pacific train to Salt Lake City arrives, gets offloaded, reloaded, refueled.
Quick scene between me and Rachel.
Sure, go ahead, go for it.
Just as she's about to kind of let you go back to your friends, she kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you around. Rachel,
Yeah?
I don't think you're keeping very good company. And I just want to let you know that Baltimore is a very nice town, and if you need a way to start anew, and I think that might be best for you. I think that going along with a crazy woman who rants about whatever she's ranting about, and that samurai with his crazy eyes, and did you see the way he was shaking when he was talking earlier? What's wrong with him? Is he always like that?
Yeah, it's pretty much Haru.
Well, I'm just saying, you don't have to do all of this. You can start a new life. You can always start over. It's America. Or, well, it's what's left of America.
It's a kind offer, Elaine, but I've already started over multiple times. I've been through hell and back with Daisy and Haru. Can't imagine my life without them.
Well, all right. Thank you for coming.
But if I'm ever in Baltimore, I'll be sure to pay you a call.
I don't think that'll be necessary.
Well, good luck then. And see you on the train.
She kind of gives you like a snooty nod.
So you get on the Denver Pacific train, and it's an overnight run straight to Salt Lake City. Not a whole lot of stops in between. Unfortunately, maybe it was an oversight on Lan Hui's part, or maybe someone else fucked you over on your tickets, but you don't have tickets for a sleeper car, so you're in a passenger car on hard benches.
Hard bench.
Yep.
Fucking Amtrak.
But you happen to share a car with Miss Summerlin,
Oh, great.
And a handful of other people. There's not a whole lot of people on this overnight run. But the one thing that really stands out is at the back of the car, there are 2 soldiers standing at attention at guard. And they're wearing a uniform you've never, ever seen before.
Can I... do we have to pass them to get into the car?
No, they're at the back of your car.
Okay.
Things that make you go,
I just kind of... Oh.
Look like any railroad police uniforms or anything like that we may have seen, especially those of us who worked in the railroad.
No, they don't. They're wearing like a greenish-black uniform. They've got red caps, almost like fezzes. And yeah, I'll pass this around, and that's what they look like.
Okay.
They don't look American.
No, well...
Their equipment looks a little outdated. They've got some old muskets that they're holding at their sides, and they've got some odd-looking sabers.
How many are there?
There's just two standing at the end of the car.
Rachel's gonna move kind of to the front of the car and just kind of check to see through the window. Can she see soldiers at the other car?
Yeah, so the car's got like a flexible gasket in between, so that way when you're walking through, you're not affected by the elements. And definitely standing on the other side, but like inside the gasket, there are another 2 soldiers standing at attention. Kind of loose attention, but definitely attentive. And then the window through to the next car is like shuttered.
Oh, okay. She'll just kind of lean over and say quietly to Haru, is this railroad police, Haru?
Not like any I've seen before.
I'd like to roll a knowledge battle check
Okay, go ahead.
to see if I recognize these soldiers.
Has your character been with us the entire time?
Invisible.
What?
I got a raise.
All right. You recognize them as soldiers of the Ottoman Empire.
What are they doing here?
You're looking for Ottomans.
So eventually the train leaves the station and takes off with a shutter, and it starts heading down the track, click-clack, click-clack, chugga-chugga, chugga-chugga, so on and so forth. It's a long trip. There's not a lot going on. The landscape's, just rolling by. There is a dining car you can go to. At one point, 2 other soldiers come out and replace the other 2 that are standing guard there. They don't talk too much, and when they do, it's not in English. And they don't really interact with anyone. At some point, someone comes in from another car, is just they look like they're clearly drunk, and they're trying to walk through. And the 2 guys cross their muskets in front of the door, and they say a couple of words to the guy, and when he's just like, "Huh, what are you saying? I don't understand." They just vigorously shake their heads no, and kind of give him a gentle push away. They spin him around. They're not really aggressive. They're not "fuck you" and shoving him. They're just nope, turn around, go that way.
They're stopping him from entering our car, or
the car
with the shut window.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Car to probably the rear of our car.
Yeah.
So the dining car would be in front of ours, or to the front.
To the front. Yeah. I don't know if it's the next car exactly, but yeah, this drunk guy comes through, and they're just kind of no, you're drunk, go back.
Is anyone talking about this, other passengers?
There's maybe a few whispers and murmurs. There's not a whole lot of people in this car, and you've probably got, where is Miss Summerlin? She's definitely in this car.
Yeah, she is. She's kind of just over in the corner, sipping some tea that her butler's made her. It's steaming a little bit, kind of steaming up the railway window, the train window.
I might get up then and move to the dining car and see if I can hear any information there.
Okay, you go to the dining car. It's
Does it have a bar?
Oh, absolutely.
Rachel's sitting at the bar.
It's got a nice bar.
She is ordering a nice glass of whiskey.
All right, yep. Bartender gives you a thing of whiskey.
So what's with all the soldiers?
Couldn't rightly say, ma'am.
Never seen that uniform before.
Yep, neither have I.
I'll tell you what's with all the soldiers. And this grizzled, dirty man in like a floppy brown hat sidles up on the bar next to you. Whiskey?
Bartender's like, you got the money for that, old man?
Have I got the money? I've been mining ghost rock out in these hills for months. I've got some money.
Okay. You have that money with you?
Do I have that money with me? Yes.
I've been mining ghost rock for months.
And he kind of pulls out a couple of ghost rock crumbles and just drops them on the counter.
Oh, he looks less than happy at that. But he pulls out a set of scales. Very tiredly, like, oh god, I gotta go through this. Pulls out a set of scales, scoops the ghost rock dust, puts it in the scale, measures it, and gives you a small shot of whiskey.
He downs it, one gulp. So I saw you were looking at the soldiers over there.
Rachel is pretty impressed. So,
Just kind of eyeing your ghost rock.
Are you all together? Is everyone there at the bar?
Well, I think we'd make our way there, right? What else are we gonna do?
I was originally going to be having Haru sitting in the seat next to Rachel and kind of just like offering a hand if she needed it or anything like that. But when she got up, he was like, "Okay, I'll follow along. Keep the group together."
Okay, so everyone's there. Everyone's at the bar.
you know something about those soldiers?
I know that they're for the Ottoman Empire.
I'll buy another drink if you can tell us a little bit more about them.
You keep the drinks coming, I'll tell you a little bit more about them. How about that?
Rachel pauses, like, wait, I just said that, but you won't say anything, and she'll slide like another coin across to the bartender and be like, another drink for me, and I didn't catch your name.
Don't think I gave you my name. What's your name?
I asked first.
And meanwhile, the bartender gives just like, really? Look. And then he takes the coin and he fills another shot and he passes it over.
Haru Matsuhara.
I'm Daisy. Where'd you get that ghost rock?
I spent months mining it.
Spent a few months mining it. That's all you gotta do. It's out in the hills here. You just dig deep enough and you find it.
Oh yeah, my beau's got a mine back in way up in the Rogue Valley.
What's a bow?
My beau, my man. My boyfriend.
Oh.
You know. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
Well, name's Tom. Just a minute. He downs the second thing of whiskey.
Name's Miss Kennedy.
Miss Kennedy. So, what kind of group you got going here? Her beau was back home. Are you her beau?
Do we do that like awkward thing where we're like, well, it's complicated.
I think you do, because that's what you just said.
Haru just kind of does a gentle nod in like, yes, but no.
Oh, come on now. Not that complicated. He gives you kind of a knowing wink.
There's a furious blush just creeping up Rachel's cheeks.
Well, listen, Ms. Kennedy and friends. Ottoman soldiers, they're not the most well-equipped. They're not the smartest. But they have guns. So maybe don't be looking like you're so curious about all of this. There's some things you don't need to know.
Are you threatening me?
No, of course not. I'm just trying to get where I'm going, same as all of you, right?
Do these Ottomans have ghost rock?
They wish they had ghost rock.
Well, now I think I know what they're doing here.
I could care less why they're here. It is admittedly curious, but for our circumstances, it is a fact not worth knowing.
Well, y'all know what I could do with Ghost Rock. This Ottoman army probably wants to be able to do the same kind of things.
I can only imagine the destruction an empire would cause with your rock.
I'm just curious. I see something new. I want to know about it.
You know, I'm a little curious too. You smell weird. Why is that?
Haru just slaps like enough money for like 5 drinks on the table, and it's just like, please.
He hasn't showered in a few days.
I'd like to do an occult check real quick.
You'd like to do a what?
An occult check?
There's a notice check.
It's a notice check at -2
Okay,
for what you want to do.
cool. I'm gonna re-roll.
All right.
Oh no.
How much do I want this? Probably not that much. So never mind. He just kind of like sniffs you a few times, looks a little suspicious, but goes back to his drink.
If I smell like death, it's because I've killed a lot of men.
Boy, you're brave making threats like that with an entire military on board.
I'm not making a threat, just stating a fact.
Entire military? How many soldiers do we
It's
see?
the entire Ottoman Empire on this train.
Holy shit!
Take it over.
This is a big, like, does it go all the way from Champagne to? Like,
They're still adding cars on.
It's the Snowpiercer train.
it just keeps going.
Well, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but
So, Tom, do you know then who's in that car?
no, I have no idea.
Why do I have a feeling you're lying now?
Why do I have a feeling that everybody here's lying a little bit?
I have not lied once yet.
As far as I'm aware, none of us are lying.
Fair enough. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy my drinks for a bit. Thanks for buying one, I suppose.
I'm going to enjoy a few more.
Yeah, you drink your drinks, maybe you grab some food, and then you head back to your benches in your car. And the train carries on. The sun sets, and it's dark. Some train personnel come through, and they light a few low lanterns. Is Miss Summerlin in the car when they come back?
You know, I think she's disappeared somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, Miss Summerlin is missing. She's not there.
Is her butler still there?
I don't think you've ever seen the butler.
What? Oh god.
Yeah, you never actually saw the butler. You just you saw her sipping tea and kind of assumed because she had mentioned her butler before.
Okay. I'm not worried about Miss Summerlin. She was a little snooty to me, so
Yeah,
No.
her bags are still there.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it's dead, and no one's just like, oh, some weird men came aboard and took the young woman.
Rachel's probably going to try to get comfortable on the hard bench and
Yeah, it's nigh impossible.
try to sleep.
Haru's doing his best by like offering his shoulder for her to rest on.
And you're definitely out of that 10-mile radius of the staff. You're having all your harrowed issues again.
Yeah, that's why he's hat down and collar pulled up, and
Hat over face.
Haru's just got an arm wrapped around Rachel to kind of give her a place to rest. And then he's gonna die for an hour.
Well, that's good. I think there's not that many people on the train, so in an hour's time, no one really notices it. Like, hey, there's a cadaver.
That guy over there in the corner.
I mean, with her resting on him and him kind of like
Yeah.
dead on her, it kind of just looks like a couple, you know.
Daisy just falls. Actually, Daisy doesn't go back. Because riding the rails, she knows like the best place to sleep is in the dining car.
Yeah.
So that's where she is.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Because they have the
Best suspension and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wynon's not getting a lot of sleep that night. He's got some work to do.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Who indeed?
yeah, Tom or Quainon.
Quainon.
Wynon.
Does he drink?
Quainon.
Whynon? Does he drink gin?
Does Miss Sutherland eventually, or Summerlin, can't keep my name straight anymore. Miss Summerlin return to the car?
Actually, she leaves her things in a neat pile as she assumes her true form of Wynon Beardsley.
All right.
What?
I'm so confused.
Excellent. Excellent. Everyone give me notice rolls at -2.
Ooh.
Everyone succeeded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's the early hours of the dawn as the train goes racing towards Salt Lake City. You're all in your various places. Daisy, you're at the dining car, kind of sitting there. You're probably talking animately to someone.
Yeah. Got woken up, get some coffee.
Yeah. You're probably a little more energetic on you know, the environment you're accustomed to on the trains and stuff. Whereas normally you're a heavy sleeper because you're used to sleeping on trains. Here it's like, oh yeah, I can wake up just fine.
All right. Yeah.
You're in the dining car. The rest of you are in your assigned car. You're wherever you're at. When you hear an odd sound that most of you, probably excepting Daisy, have never heard before, and that is the sound of propellers in the dawn.
Okay. Looking out the window.
Yeah, Rachel will step a bit and raise her hat up at the noise.
Okay. You look out the window. It's dark. It's there's not really a whole lot to see.
Is there any lights that are hanging on the outside of the train?
No, I don't think so. Well, all the light is interior. The guards look kind of like they're snoozing lightly. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I forget what you were saying. Oh, it's just we can't really see.
Yeah.
It's that, like, you know, look out the window here. What can you see? Only what's
And definitely the sound's coming kind of from outside and above.
We can hear it. It's not the night witches.
Do you know what that is, Haru?
It sounds like a big bee.
Oh god, I hope we don't have to fight a big bee.
I know, you probably don't have the frame of reference to even identify what that is. It sounds just like a big bee.
It sounds like
No.
a really big bee.
Those are engines, kind of like.
You're not there.
I'm not there. You're right.
You're in the dining car.
All right.
So some other guy's like, that sounds like a really big hornet.
Oh, Father, we have to fight a giant hornet. Aww.
And a few minutes later, as you're all sitting like, what the fuck is this? What's going on? You feel the train shake as you hear kind of a whoosh, and then a ka-chunk. Almost like harpoons were being fired. And there's a screech as the train picks up weight, and then the windows crash open as people come ziplining down and come crashing through the windows. You're under attack by airship pirates.
Yay! I mean, oh no!
So yeah, these guys, there's about 6 of them come crashing through in the car you're in. 6 of them come crashing through in the car you're in. In the car that Haru and Rachel that you're in, there's a heavier clunk, and then like a zzz, a shower of sparks, and like a section of the roof is ripped open. This guy drops through, and he's massive. He stands almost 7 feet tall. He's muscular and bulky, and his right arm, there's this big mechanical monstrosity of an arm, and at the end of it is a whirling buzzsaw. And everyone's like, you know, the passengers are screaming, "Oh no!" And the Ottoman soldiers are like, "Oh shit, we're supposed to be professionals here." They're like raising their rifles and stuff, and the guy with the buzzsaw arm is like, "Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to inform you that you are being robbed. Everyone kindly remain calm, and we shall make this an enjoyable, entertaining, and memorable experience." And I think we'll end there. Deadlands and Savage Worlds are the property of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. All content is used unofficially under the Savage Media Network license. Find more of their great products at peginc.com. Music is provided by the Eaglestone Collective. Sound effects are by Plate Mail Games and BattleBards. Aircraft effects were provided by soundjade.com. You can find links to all of the above in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in, listeners. I hope you enjoyed the episode and that you'll join us again. Have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you, and I'll catch you next time.